Today we're going to get started on your macrame hemp final project. You'll be making either one choker, two bracelets, or two anklets, or a bracelet anklet. Either way, the work's about the same. And you get to choose which style you want to do. You could do them all the same if you want to. You could do each of them different styles A and C. You could intermix them, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do the measurements because they are a little bit longer than we did before. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to show you how to do the anklet for A and C. We need one string that's 1 yard, one that's 3.5. We've done the 1 yard before, but I wanted to show you how to do 3.5 so you can do this by yourself. You'll take the string with the yardstick, and I have the loose end down here, and I have the other hand just so that the string can flow through my hand because we need to be able to measure more than 1 yard. So I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to let go of the tail, which is this side. I'm going to let go, and then pick up right where I pinched it. I marked it off over here at the end of the yardstick. So I'm going to allow the string to pull through this other hand again. So start off over here, mark it right where it was. This will be 2 there. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing again. So I'm letting go of the loose end, and I let this flow through my fingers again. So that's 3. And then we also have to do a half. Remember, half is 18 inches. This is center of your yardstick, so it's right here. And then you'll go ahead and cut that. So to cut that, kind of just pull, and it cuts pretty easily. So I have the 1 here. And then I have my 1 yard, 1 yard long here. And I'll cut that as well. So they're very different, but it's the same thing as that we did before. You'll put your tails together. Slide your hand down, put the loop in your fingers. So you can still use your first finger and thumb. Find the other string, same thing. So I'm finding the tails for both sides. Those together, slide that all the way down and find the loop. Putting my loops together. I'm going to take this off real quick. Once I've done that, I'm ready to tie the knot. Remember, 2 fingers and your thumb, pull up, go around the front, hold it with your thumb, pull your fingers out. The loops are going to go around and through. Then you'll take your stick, push the knot up towards the stick. Okay, because we don't want a big gap right there. We want it to be pretty small, right on there. Always tape down your short strings. The way you can do that is pull your strings through. The 2 that snap out are the 2 short ones. Those get taped down, don't forget. Okay, so you have your strings cut, let's say, and you're already ready to start your pattern. So I have some examples. They'll be up on the board. They're also here. These are some examples. If you want to do colored string, let me know because there's a special way to cut them, especially with this one, so that you'll see both colors. You can buy colored string usually at like Walmart, Joann Fabrics, if it's around, Hobby Lobby, any of those. Or you can use the string that we have, which is in the back there. This one I intermixed style A and C. So I did A for like 1 inch, then I put a bead, style C, put a bead, and then I switched over. So you could do it that way if you would like. What most kids do is they will put the beads over the center strings. Put all your beads you're going to use, so your 4 or 5 on there, and then tie a knot on the center so that as you go, I'm going along, I'm ready for a bead, I just slide it up and then I keep on going. So if you're doing 4P, 4P, go ahead, slide up the bead and you're ready for 4P, 4P. Or if you stop on the 4, slide up the bead, you're ready for P. So you just pick up where you left off. I have one right here that I did the same thing, I went a little bit further, so I did about 1.5 inches, put a bead, 1.5 inches or so. Put another bead. So for your bracelets, I'm going to give you some measurements that you can kind of think about. So for bracelets, they need to be about 6 or 7 inches long, and that's from the loop. So you can look at that, check it on there. So this one's, by the time I tie the knot, it'll be right at 7 inches, which it's about perfect for me. Anklets, you'll want them to be 9 or 10 inches. So this whole length right here. And if you're making a choker, you want 14 to 16 inches. You can always check all these on yourself. So just hold them around. If there's a big old gap, that means you need to keep going like that. If they're matching up pretty close, then it looks like you're done. So I'm going to show you how to end this. So when I'm done, so this one is done, you're going to take this off your stick, hold the bracelet upside down, and I'm going to tie the knot just like we did the top, except you are going to kind of have your work in the knot as we're tying it, but we're going to push the tails so that your knot is at the bottom. So I wrapped them around, pushed them through. I'm going to work the strings so they get right at the bottom of my work because I don't want a big gap. And I don't want to tie the knots that I worked on in the knot because that's kind of wasted time. And so once you get to here, you can kind of pull one string at a time. If you need to tighten that up, get that about there. And then you do want to leave the tails long. So about 3 or 4 inches so that you have room to tie them on. So I'm going to leave 4 inches and I'm just going to cut it here at the end. You want them all cut off nice like that. So then when you go to wear this, you could put 2 strings on the inside. Like that. And then tie a square knot onto someone. So you could do left over right, right over left to tie that onto them. I'm not going to tie it because nobody's wearing it right now. But that's how you do your final project. If you are wanting to space your beads out evenly, you could mark the center strings if you really, really wanted to. For the bracelets, I would do 1 to 4 beads, anklets 1 to 6 beads, and the choker 1 to 8 beads. Mainly, they get really heavy, and I can't see the pattern if you put too many beads on there, and that's why we're doing this. But if you want to mark out where they would go, so these are my center strings, you literally could take a little Sharpie and like say I wanted it right there. So I marked it on there so I know that's where I want the bead to slide up, and then I could mark out like if I want it down here. You could put it on the ruler if it's really important to you to have them spaced out. Just remember how much space the bead will take up as well. About 1.5 inch spacing is pretty good to have your beads spaced out. And that's what you should need for your final project.